I started making flower arrangements because of my ex-boyfriend. And he was the one that he pushed me to make it. And I started with the PR events for fashion, and we were doing with my mom a lot of flower arrangements for them. But everything started from my family, from my grandfather who was growing the flowers. And then my grandfather was also growing them. And my grandmother used to have 3 flower shops in Warsaw. One of them was really close to us. That's why this place, when I saw it, was so meaning to me, because it was really close to my grandmother's flower shop. And also, this is really nice, my mother was living here really close, and when you will go after and see the garden here, there's a garden, it's a street name of Aleja Róż, so it's like Aleja of Roses.
Ja się wychowywałam w rodzinie ogrodników, właściwie się wychowałam w kwiatach. Mój tata miał szklarnię. A mama umiała tworzyć bukiety piękne, miała kwiaciarnię niedaleko nas tutaj, też na Mokotowskiej. Tata prowadził szklarnię, hodował kwiaty. Ja się tam wychowałam, ja bardzo dużo pomagałam w domu i może przez to tak kocham kwiaty, że się tak urodziłam się niemalże w kwiatach.
I opened the store, as I said it before, because of my ex-boyfriend, because he pushed me to do the things that I really love, because I was never believing that you can earn from the things that you really love, that it could be your work. But from the beginnings that I remember when I was a child, I was always dreaming with my mom to have a flower shop. And my mom also never had something that in her character to push her to do it. So when I started to think about it, she was like, yeah, we can do it together.
Ja zawsze chciałam mieć kwiaciarnię i pracować z kwiatami, ale się troszkę bałam sama otworzyć. I tak trochę po cichu czekałam, że córka dorośnie i zrobimy to razem. Córka bardzo kochała kwiaty i zawsze na każdą okazję jej kwiaty kupowałam. Najpierw jak mieliśmy my kwiaty, to jej dawałam, ale później już się nie opłacało prowadzić tego biznesu i tata zamknął. To potem już kupowałam kwiaty dla niej na każde urodziny i ona się zawsze strasznie cieszyła.
My mom learned me to appreciate the flowers, and I think it was also my grandma who was involved with the flowers, because the place that I was growing, it was the place that my grandfather used to have, the place that he was growing the flowers there. But when I was born, it was closed already, but we have a lot of different kinds of flowers in our garden. And I remember that I was loving the smell of it, I was loving the texture of it, and I remember that I was loving the hydranea, and I remember also that my mother told me that those flowers were the most important flowers from my grandmother. My grandmother was the cutest person I know. I don't remember her that much because she got really sick when I was young, but I really loved her. They were saying that she was looking like Polish Marilyn Monroe because she was really elegant, but also she had something in her vibe that was like really charming. And she loved flowers, and she was super cute. My grandfather was in love in orchids and all kind of totally different orchids, not like we have right now in the markets, but they were like super freaky, different orchids. And he was doing a lot of pictures of it and looking how it's growing and everything. And this is the funny thing, because I didn't know about it. And I remember when I was on the flower market and I saw it, And I was amazed, and I showed it to my mom, and she was like, "Oh, your grandfather used to grow them, and he was obsessed with them." But I think when I'm doing compositions, it's like a bit like a painter who's painting, because you can also switch the textures and the colors. And I really love to put them together. And sometimes you have bad day, and sometimes it's not going good. It's like, I think we can compare it to the artist, like painter or someone who's doing something with the hands. In Poland, it's really important to bring fresh flowers to the people that are dead, so to the cemetery. And we have the Day of the Dead. And when the graves are empty, other people just go and put the flowers to those graves. I really feel that I need to make my grandmother really proud. But I guess she is already proud. But yeah, I think she already is, because she also was doing it, she was loving it, and I think wherever she is and she's watching from the sky, I think she's really happy that we are continuing it.
Się bardzo kochamy i to prowadzimy. Siebie kochamy i kochamy kwiat.